Welcome to the first session of Statistics for Business. So in this session, we will discuss about basic concepts of statistics, what are different application of statistics, what are different level of measurement. When we talk about classification in terms of tools and technique, so descriptive statistical technique and inferential statistical technique. But before that, we will also discuss about level of measurement as well as basic component in the data set. What is statistics? Simply, if you see, once you collected data, how to present it, how to analyze it, and what could be the interpretation. So that is nothing but a statistics. So what exactly we do? We use these statistical tools to transform data into meaningful information. If you talk about application of statistics, you name the function in business, whether it is related to accounting, it is economics, finance, management information system, marketing, HR. So everywhere you will find the application of statistical technique. Concept of statistics, so it comes about population and sample. There are some descriptive statistical techniques and how do we denote them in case of population, and there are some descriptive statistical technique and how do we denote them in case of sample. In addition to this, we must know if anything is calculated about population, those are parameter, and same thing is calculated for sample are known as statistic. Statistic is actually the method, technique, tool by which we are trying to estimate the value of parameter. In the process of analysis, when we talk about inferential statistics, you will see that we always try to find out the value of parameter. The problem is sometimes whole population is difficult to analyze, enumerate, so then we use the part of population which is a sample, but there are certain technique which you use in case of sampling. So we need to eliminate the error while taking some sample, but still whatever effort we are making in this case, you will find there is little bit difference between the original value of parameter and what we have estimated from the sample. So this process is keep on going till the time your purpose is served. Suppose some data set is given to us. We will not directly jump to the analyzing that data set. First of all, we must know what are the different level of measurement so that we could use a proper statistical technique in that case. So what are those level of measurement? We start with the nominal level of measurement. As the name says, it is a namesake, right? So whatever, for example, we have a variable like gender. So in this case, what maximum we can do? We can categorize the data into some characteristics. For example, in this case, we have two categories, male and female. So we can classify all the observation in these two categories. What maximum we can do? We can count the number. What are we able to use some arithmetic operation? No. So this is what we can do in case of nominal data. Next level of measurement is ordinal. Ordinal related to some order, some rank. In case of order, we are not talking about alphabetical order. Magnitude wise, there must be some order. If some number is suppose 1 and 2, so 2 is twice of 1. So that we consider as a magnitude. So your data is in terms of some order, so we can maintain something more than that what we do in case of nominal data. So that means in this case, one additional thing which we can do, we can maintain the order. And the statistical technique sometime which are not applicable in case of nominal, some of the techniques are applicable in case of ordinal data. For example, we take example of suppose designations are there. We know that this particular designation is higher, this particular designation is lower, but exactly we do not know the magnitude. But yes, some sense of magnitude is there even if the data is there in qualitative. But if exactly some data in terms of number, so it is easy to find out the order. Next level of measurement is an interval level of measurement. In this case, what do we do? For example, in some product, you are saying that, do you like this? So how will you get response? Yes or no? What kind of data is this? Earlier we discussed it is nominal data. But suppose if you change the question, how much do you like? So then you will give some number. It could be based on some rating scale 1 to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So in this case, what do? We assume that difference between 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and so on are equal. Normally, these are not equal, but we assume to apply maximum quantitative technique in this case. One important thing in case of interval data is that 0 is arbitrary. You can set 0 somewhere in the scale. And if data is at interval level of measurement, we can use all the arithmetic operation which was not possible in case of nominal or ordinal. Then finally, highest level of measurement is ratio level. So in ratio level, 0 is absolute 0. 0 means absence of something. So if data is at highest level, we can use all the statistical technique, all the quantitative tools in this type of data. So for example, we have data related to age, weight, volume. So you can apply all kind of arithmetic operation in this case of data, and the difference in case of interval and ratio may be considered in terms of this whether 0 is arbitrary or absolute. If I talk about level of measurement as per their operations, we can say that nominal level of measurement is the minimum level and ratio level of measurement is the maximum level. At a nominal level, just counting and categorization was only the option. Now, in case of ordinal, we can maintain some order, but in case of interval or ratio scale, we can use all arithmetic operations. Moving further, many things we must know before doing any kind of analysis. Suppose some data set is given to you. So what are those different components which we must understand before the analysis of any kind of data? So let me tell you about those components. Those main components are element, variable, observation. Element on which you collect some data. Variable is actually about which, or this is the characteristic on which you collect some data, and we have observation. So exactly what you measure against that particular characteristic. For example, you can see on the screen that whatever we have column wise, those are known as variable, and row wise, these are element names, and whatever is the intersection of element and variable is nothing but your observation. And most of the time when some analysis will be done, you will get this type of information, or if information is not available in this way, so you have to convert this information into these kind of matrices so that it is easy to analyze and interpret the data. Understood different level of measurement and what are different component in the data. So there are some broader classification of the data which are known as qualitative and quantitative data. So now, because we have already discussed about different level of measurement, let's see how these different level of measurement comes under these classifications. Data is generally referred as categorical data. So sometimes what do? To name an attribute, we use some level. So under this particular classification, you can see that nominal and ordinal kind of scales are being used for any kind of statistical analysis. Although we can do the limited statistical analysis in this case, but yes, this is how do we do in this case. So when we talk about quantitative data, in case of quantitative data, one can say that these are always numeric, but there are also some classification. You will find sometime discrete or continuous data. So now what is discrete? When we talk about how many, simple differentiation may be done on the basis of how many or how much. So when some specified values are there, specified positions are there, we are talking about discrete. When it is continuously or variable can take any value within some particular interval. We are talking about continuous quantitative data. Look at classification corresponding to the level of measurement. We will see that in case of qualitative, it could be both type. One is numeric, non-numeric. In case of numeric, it could be nominal as well as ordinal, and non-numeric, it could be again nominal or ordinal. But in case of quantitative, it is always numeric, and the scale which generally we use there, interval or ratio scale. In addition to this, there are certain types of data which we also use in case of analysis, and we must know what exactly these types are. So, difference on the basis of whether data is collected at the same point in time or at many point in time. So, if same point in time, we are talking about cross-sectional data. If it is at a several point in time, so we are talking about time series data. In case of cross-sectional data, suppose if I ask you to tell me what is the sale of 10 company this year, or the sale of 10 company in a particular year, let's say 2020. So then data is being collected at one point of time, and this particular data set would be known as cross-sectional data. If I ask you that, okay, let me know what are the performance of this particular company or a particular company on the last 10 period or for the last 10 year. So that means that particular characteristic is being collected, or that particular fact is being collected at a different point in time. Let's say for last 10 years. So that means whenever something happened, so that is being recorded. So this kind of data is known as time series data. Whenever we need to do some kind of analysis, we must require data from some relevant sources. So there are number of sources from where we can collect data. In every country, there are central bank, there are stock market, there are some ministry which take care of the secondary data, or in some cases, companies or agencies also collect primary data. You need to know that what kind of data actually is the requirement in that particular situation. Due to availability of data, we use some kind of software to analyze. Most of the time in your course, we will also be using MS Excel, and in some cases you might go for other statistical tools. So in this session, we discuss about basic concepts of statistics, what are different applications when these tools can be applied, and what are different level of measurement, different kind of classification, broad classification. Then we have also seen based on time how the data is different in a particular situation. So I hope in this session you have understood all the basic concepts of statistics. So we will continue in the next session with some new topic. So till then, thank you.